All right, so I've had a lot of people ask me how I put auto steer in the Ranger without hanging an ATU on the steering column. So what I did, if you take your ATU apart, you can undo the chain, goes around the steering wheel to the motor. Then you take the motor out, and the harnessing. You flip, that drive sprocket right there. You need to flip that around on the motor to get it down lower, I guess, if you will. Somewhere to put my light. And then I'll put a link for the sprocket. This is the sprocket that This is the sprocket that came on the ATU motor itself. This sprocket I bought on Amazon. I had to drill out the bore to fit the steering shaft, 7/8 or 22 millimeter, however you want to look at it. And then I drilled it out, and then there's 2 set screws. Before you go and drill those set screw holes, make sure that sprocket is not touching. It's going to be hard with the dash in here. Yeah, I don't know. The hub in the middle, make sure that is not touching the cast or the housing of the motor when you drill those set screw holes. I made that mistake. Didn't cross my mind. I got it all together and I was like, man, this steers a lot harder than it did before. Well, the hub of this was binding on the steering motor. So keep that in mind. I just put some feeler gauges in there, brought it back up, drilled some holes in the steering shaft, sunk those in. This steers super easy with the key on. Like, if you have electric power steering, so just the 2 set screws, not too worried about it, but you could just, yeah. Where it steers really easy, so those 2 set screws are gonna be completely fine. I had to order a new chain, a little longer. It's got a little bit of slack in it, but I didn't really have I could put one of those pinch idlers here, but I haven't had an issue, or a pinch tensioner, there we go. I haven't had any issues with it working at all. The bracketry here, I should have pulled, I didn't want to undo all the ducting, so this is what you get. This here is just on these 2 mounting bolts on the outside. It doesn't go all the way around to all 4. Just on those 2. This comes up, piece of angle, goes over, up, back up again. This originally was on right here, but there was a conflicting issue here I thought would clear, but just, there we go. I mean, almost worked, but not quite. So I had to move that back up and over. I don't have any dimensions for any of this. It was built, measured as built. So, but that gives you an idea. I have some other pictures I can show you. I'll put in the video. This is the harness that plugged into the ATU to begin with. Same grounding setup. Then all I did was, I guess that's way up in there. I just have an Ag Express universal ATU harness. So everything plugged in as normal. Those so there's my, getting all dirty now. That one powers on the screen. It's not on keyed. It's just hot all the time, so you do have to pay attention. And I pulled all the power off of the pulse bar under the front. and then my resume switch. Those are out of any AGCO tractor, really. Rogator, MT965, MT675D. Those are available through AGCO. They are not cheap, but they fit, and aesthetically, that makes me happy that they look like they belong. Let's see what else. For the mounting here, that is a ram mount. I guess I'll put a link in there. This works really good. It's pretty solid. Yep, so adapter there works really well. I unpinned the connector, pulled the harness through, repinned the connector there. MTG and power strip. Power strip is powered off the pulse bar, and MTG is also powered off the pulse bar. Hooked up as it should be, power ground keyed. You will have to, don't mind that looks ugly as can be. You will have to trim that. That is a cubby hole. You'll have to cut the back of it off. I tried taking a hole saw to the corner to try to get it to fit around the bracket. That didn't work, so that's why it looks like it's hole saws in the top. Yeah, I would like to put a back on that to put stuff in, but also it's nice, you can just look in there and see everything going on down there. Let's see what else. Sorry, I was interrupted. Harness going to the receiver, goes through pulled the headliner out, put a connector there, so nothing goes through the window or anything. Yeah, super easy, super cool there. I will pull it off, put a plug in it, just like you would on a tractor. I don't know what else to really cover. Yeah, like I said, that was the hardest part of the whole install, was figuring out how to get that mounted, keep everything running true, square, so nothing binds up. As far as tuning, took it out in the pasture, maybe had 5 minutes into tuning it. I mean, works great. The other thing I wish it wouldn't shut off it wasn't speed limited, because it's real easy to hit that 16, 17, 18 miles an hour in this and it shuts off. I don't know, I haven't explored changing the profile to like a sprayer, but I think ATU just shuts off at a certain speed no matter what profile is selected. So yeah, like I said, I'll put links or product description, what I use for everything in the video. I'll make a list, put it up on the screen there. So switches, part numbers, etc.